This is part 6 of the true story of one of the most actively haunted houses in America, known as the Sallie House. Just for reference, Tony and Deborah Pickman and their baby are the ones who live in the house. Sallie is the ghost of the house. Tony comes home from work and sees Sallie standing there in the kitchen. None of them have actually ever seen Sallie, but Sallie was standing there in an old white dress. Just a couple seconds later, though, she disappears. Tony doesn't believe that this is just a little girl. He thinks it is more sinister than that. A couple months later, the Pickmans invited some friends over for dinner. As they were sitting in their living room, something scratches Tony's forehead so hard that it draws blood. Everyone watched the scratch go across his forehead, but no one saw what caused it. That same night, Tony had a dream that someone dragged him out of bed by the wrists. He woke up the next morning to bruises and blisters on his wrists in the form of child fingerprints. The family takes Christmas photos and sees a large, eerie figure in the photo. But it's not Sallie. Stay tuned for part 7. This is part 7 to the true story of one of the most actively haunted houses in America, known as the Sallie House. For reference, Tony and Deborah Pickman are the people who live in the house with their baby. Sallie is the ghost of the house. The Pickmans take their Christmas photos, and there's a large, eerie figure in one of the photos. But it's not Sallie. They send it to a psychic, and the psychic says the person in the photo is an old woman. Tony was taking a nap one day when dust particles started to come together and form the shape of an old lady. The door slammed shut and everything in the room started to shake. It looked like the woman was about to strangle him. He crawls out of the bed towards the door, but the door won't open. But Deborah didn't even hear a thing from downstairs. A television show that specializes in ghost sightings hears about the Pickmans and wants to come to their house. The producers got there and they started filming right away. The first day of filming, something attacked Tony and left 3 large scratch marks in his arm. Tony was attacked a total of 11 times on just the first day of filming. Stay tuned for part 8. This is part 8 of the true story of one of the most actively haunted houses in America, known as the Sallie House. For reference, Tony and Deborah Pickman and their baby live in the house. Sallie is the ghost of the house. After the producers of the show left, the Pickmans felt hopeless. They felt like nothing else was going to work. They finally get in contact with a medium who said that they would come and cleanse the house. The medium said that there was a little girl named Sallie in the house, an old angry woman, and an old man. The medium asked the Pickmans if they wanted any of the ghosts to stay before she cleansed it. Deborah wanted Sallie to stay, but the cleansing of the house didn't work. It honestly just made the spirits more angry. Tony kept hearing voices that told him to kill his wife, the baby, set the house on fire, things like that. The voices finally convinced Tony to kill a cat. But Tony doesn't even remember killing the cat. The Pickmans finally moved out 2 weeks later. Today, Atchison, Kansas rents out the house for tours. Thank you for listening.